stream ended 63 seconds ago.
Right.
At 14 minutes in.
At 14. Okay, I think we're live again. Good. Oh, my Lord. So, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Absolute Zero's podcast, episode 15. Yes, we're starting all over again. Somehow, some reason, we my internet just cut off, so it cut the entire stream. Then some reason. Let's see if it's actually going on this end.
I'm having the weirdest argument with.
But I what was that? I have no clue, dude. It was. Oh my God, I don't know. I need to
Oh
see.
man,
I need
this
to
is
see.
some.
I need to see if
Go
we're
ahead, sorry.
actually okay. Yeah, we are live actually.
I'm
Again.
watching live right now, man. I'm just saying. I was just like, man, that's some meta stuff. I'm watching the stream, watching you watch the stream.
I gotta make sure everything runs, man. Gotta make sure everything runs. Oh, you get a peek under the veil. You peek in the veil. Ooh, look, it's Discord.
you
It's fucking
you and
OBS.
you and me doing this. Suddenly, I have stopped giving any streamer who records video and loses saves.
Mm-hmm.
I've stopped giving them crap for that. It's like,
exactly.
We have this issue on such a minimalistic, and it's like you just keep adding more and more systems and more everything, and it just, I get it. I understand now.
It's like OBS. It's meta. It's a peek under the veil. Anyways, so yeah, since we're basically starting all over again, hi, I'm Josh, and with me tonight we have our one and only technical difficulty friend, Megan.
Everything always goes sideways when I'm on, of course.
Exactly. Why don't we even bring you back on? I don't know. I love you.
Hey, I love you too, man. I once killed a printer by being in the same room as it.
Just by being in the same
printer that we had for about 10 years, and it always worked. And I walked up to the secretary and I went, "Hey, can you copy this document for me? I don't know how to work this." She puts it in, presses the button, the same button she's pressed every day, turns off.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, mean technology.
Well, anyways, so yeah, before everything went sideways in the most unopportune way, we were talking about RTX, how I was going to be attending, and how you were lamenting the fact that it's what, $8,000 Canadian to go.
It was between $3,000 and $5,000 Canadian for me to go down.
God damn.
Yeah, because if I'm going down to the States, and like I've been to Las Vegas, but I've never been anywhere else. So if I'm going down to the States, especially for something as my life as going to see RTX, because goddamn, like Rooster has been part of my life since season 1 of Red vs. Blue.
Yeah, man.
I got to go down and I got to just make a couple, like 2 weeks out of it, right? I'm not just going down for one thing. I'm hitting up everywhere, especially because if I'm going down to Texas, I gotta get some barbecue, man. I've had a lot of different barbecue. I've never had Texas style barbecue, and I
Texas
want that.
style is where it's at, man. A lot of people say barbecue is just the grilling, just the grill, just the grill and whatnot. Barbecue is more than just the grill, dude. It's the meats, it's the family, it's the friends, it's the experience. Hey, you gotta get yourself some Texas barbecue.
Definitely have to do that.
And Spectre X
Also,
asks, go, keep going. Go ahead.
I really want to know what a Whataburger tastes like because I hear about it all the damn time, and burgers are my single favorite food.
They are. That's a fucking good transition. Bad timing too. Inspector X asks, "What panel am I planning on checking out?" Definitely the Ruby panel on Friday. I'm sad there's not a Sunday panel because the Sunday Ruby panels were always the fucking bomb. We just have a pre-panel party in the seats. But yeah, my God, Whataburger. Whataburger betrayed us, man. Whataburger just fucking betrayed us when they sold the majority of their company to a Chicago investment bank.
What?
Whataburger is now not solely a Texas brand.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I mean by betrayal. Whataburger sold most of its company to Chicago, so I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Mm,
it happens. I mean, you ever hear of Boston Pizza?
nope.
Canadian thing.
Mm.
It was started in Alberta, and now it spans from coast to coast in Canada.
Hmm. I I really like this this tweet on Twitter from a Texas defensive and JJ Watt. It's there's I'm reading a thing on CBS News and it says Texas defensive and JJ Watt issues a plea on Twitter writing, "Okay, I say we all chip in and buy Whataburger back. Have honey butter chicken biscuits available all day, and add kolaches and change nothing else, especially not the ketchup."
Okay, what's the thing with the ketchup? Because I hear about that all the time.
It's it, I think it's just made in house. Or not in house. It was made in house back in the day, but it's got like a secret sauce to it, like
Okay,
uh, like McDonald's secret sauce, but better.
makes
Because
sense.
Whataburger basically is the Texas McDonald's, only a whole lot better.
Okay.
Oh damn! I need a Whataburger after this.
Yes, my plan has worked.
Oh Lord, it's it. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens to the chain here in Texas after a bit, because it's now a majority Chicago company. So is anything gonna change? Will they change anything? If they do, what will it be? It's like don't mess with Texas, man. Don't mess with us. We'll fight. We'll fight for everything.
Oh man.
Taking away our donuts? Fuck you. We got the cops.
And the way you're talking, you'd pass as an Albertan 100%. It would. That's how it is here. Alberta is Alberta, and that's it. There's no comparison, and we're constantly compared to Texas.
I could see that.
Except, we're significantly larger than you. So
Excuse the fuck me.
just in size.
Let me repeat that.
That.
Excuse the fuck me.
I'm looking.
But in all seriousness, Alaska's bigger than all the states.
It's true. Texas is 268 square miles. Alberta. Ooh. That's interesting.
Yes.
Ooh. We're actually smaller.
Oh, what did I say?
Fuck. 10,000 square miles.
God damn.
Oh, that hurts. Oh.
You know you love it, baby.
Oh, I'm gonna do this thing called research before I open my mouth next time.
Taking it up the ass.
I'm corner now and pout. Just the rest of the podcast is you talking to yourself.
A lot of podcasters do that. So, oh my god. Something we were talking about before everything went shit show was Dave Bautista and his just his various roles outside the MCU and wrestling. Because if you think about it, he's not a terrible actor. And one of the movies that I'm really looking forward to seeing him in is Stuber, which is basically him as a cop hijacking an Uber, which looks fucking hilarious.
An idea, but it's awesome.
It's so modern. It's stupid. Another one that I'm really interested to see is called My Spy, and I guess if you remember Vin Diesel's The Pacifier, it kind of has that vibe in it, though the kid actually knows he's a super spy and wants to be trained as one. It's really weird.
But it really does. I'm just checking out his filmography right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's filming Dune right now.
Oh yeah, he is.
Controversial opinion here. I love the Dune movie.
I've never actually seen any of the Dune movies.
Only one. It was released in 1984, and it is critically hated by the Dune fandom.
Of course, it's hated by the Dune fandom. Any fandom hates their own movie.
Except Harry Potter.
The Harry Potter fans hate J.K. Rowling.
Everybody hates J.K. Rowling.
Everybody hates J.K. Rowling. That woman just needs to shut the fuck up.
She does. She really does. I think the one that finally made me just J.K. Rowling is so irrelevant to the world right now
Uh-huh.
is when she tweeted that Grindelwald
Oh God, yeah.
Dumbledore had a really intense sexual relationship.
Yeah.
And then you watch the film and you go, no, don't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't see it.
I see them as being, in
BFFs.
yes, or a relationship, but nothing that would dictate that it was T to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's she just needs to shut her fucking mouth.
really does.
I don't
I,
even I'm probably gonna get a bit of hate, but I don't like the Fantastic Beast movies.
don't either.
They're just so bad.
Yeah, actor says she should have taken her money and just gone away. And I agree. I agree with that so much.
People are still buying her books, still buying the movie. She'll be making bank
But
till the day she
yeah, but
dies.
now have you read the eighth book, the screenplay?
No, because I've heard it's garbage.
So to sum it up, and it's this is really summing it up as simple as I can. It's literally Harry Potter's kid. He neglects because he has like 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a time turner
Oh my god.
goes back like 40 years or 80
No.
years.
No. No.
And so the entire thing is stuff in the past.
It's Harry Potter's
And
kids during the Harry Potter books.
yes.
Oh my god, this
But
is
then
fuck.
before that journey, and it just it's so awful. I read it and I went, JK can't write a screenplay.
It wasn't even her screenplay.
I'm pretty sure she wrote that.
No, the screenplay was, I think, approved by her, but let me see. Harry.
I know she wrote the second. She wrote the Crimes of Grindelwald.
She might have had
And I think you're
a
right on that.
hand. She might have had a
Oh, it's
hand.
Inspector. I know it's worse than that. I know it's 1,000 times worse than that. But that's the short, stupid summary is that it's time travel involving his kids.
And
And anytime
what's worse about that is that it completely contradicts everything that happened in the books. Because
you don't understand,
I
because Malfoy commissioned a special time turner.
oh my oh
They could make more motherfucking time turners.
yeah,
It
okay,
break
never
it
mind.
it,
That works. That works.
it breaks the world, and
Yeah.
it's not good.
Time turners
And
are just terrible. Okay, yeah. It's Jack Thorne is the actual author of
okay,
the book or of the screenplay. And it was basically approved by J.K. Rowling.
but again, approved just it don't mean much.
Not really. I've read a bit and it's just god awful.
Yeah, I just I just yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Authors, man, just because you can write a book doesn't mean you can, yeah, or approve a screenplay for a Broadway show or a movie.
Yeah, it's awful stories. Should never have seen the light of day, but whatever.
Yeah, but
It's
and
a thing that happened.
time a book series or a TV series or a movie series, as they default to time travel, and it bothers me.
Once you get into time travel, that's when you know the writers have run out of ideas. Unless it's a movie
It,
specifically centered around time travel, like Back to the Future.
Time Cop.
That too.
Time Cop was a brilliant idea, and I still think that the idea is brilliant. The movies, but the idea that, hey, time travel is a thing, so we need a police force that can time travel, except it was wrong. The time cop has to fix reality. He fixes it. Nobody knows he's actually fixed it, and I love that idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like the way Avengers did it, though. Really did.
I don't know if you turn your brain off and don't pay attention, it actually works really well. If you actually sit down and just analyze it bit by bit, it doesn't work at all. But we'll
Why
just go with it's a great movie and it works pretty well with what they're given.
you've piqued my curiosity now, because there's a lot of films like Looper, for example.
Looper.
You have two characters from different time periods talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We could start talking about time travel and all that bullshit, but no one wants to talk about that, so we'll just accept what's happened and move on.
Yeah.
And Endgame at least, put some effort into, their time travel. But I'm curious, what didn't you like about the explanation for time travel?
The fact that one of them was at the very end with Steve and giving a fully complete shield to Falcon.
Because
If he had that shield the entire time from 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 back when he was with Peggy Carter. What happened to the shield that was broken in the present 2020 2023?
were actually asked a similar question, and it was more along the lines of how did Steve Rogers end up timeline again? Because, as was established by the film, going back in time creates an alternate reality at that point.
Mm-hmm.
It splits the path.
Mm-hmm.
So what the director's explanation for this is Steve Rogers lived a full life with Peggy. Alternate reality.
Yeah.
Time traveled back to his original reality. And he actually didn't grow old in the official, what is it, 616? Is that the movie universe?
No, that's not it. But in the official MCU universe,
he did not grow to be 100 years old in that universe. He grew up to be 100 years in a different universe, which raises a whole shit ton of other questions of, like, what are you gonna do about Hydra?
exactly. He knows all this shit. Why didn't
Are
he?
you gonna warn people about New York? Are you gonna, yeah, like, there's a lot to unpack from that, but at least the directors have an answer with that fits within the lore that they established.
Mm-hmm.
Lore that they established, just for the fact of the, are you saying Back to the Future is bullshit?
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. That line. I have a guy. I have my coworker of mine who's 61 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of weeks, we just look at each other and go, "What do you mean Back to the Future's bullshit?" And we both crack up, and it's amazing. That's the thing that blew my mind about Endgame and just the cinematic universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general. Workers who are 60 plus
Yeah.
movie and they know who fucking Thor is. And they know who fucking, Star-Lord is.
Yeah,
Fucking
man.
Groot. And it's such a weird thing. These guys read comics back in the day.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Okay, according to them, they didn't.
Mm.
Busy doing other things. Still, it breaks my brain that that exists, and I love it.
Yeah, man.
People from different age groups and different everything action, right? And everybody knows it, and it's awesome to me.
What another thing that's interesting is that I don't know if you saw, but earlier today, Kevin Feige came out and said that they're going to be releasing Endgame again next Friday with with all new footage, like not extended footage, but extra content after the credits, so like a new post credit scene, um, deleted scenes and whatnot, a tribute of some sorts. So that'll be
It,
really interesting to see. Yeah.
I hate to go cynical, but it really seems like they're trying to push it over the edge to beat out Avatar.
I mean, of course they are, but I mean, it's still cool to go back and see it again.
See it again. Uh that's crazy that it's coming back. New footage. Huh.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. Like, I know they're not gonna be doing like an extended cut because the movie's already 3 hours and 58 seconds long, but they're just going to be doing like new post credit scenes, extended or not deleted scenes and tributes and whatnot. Maybe even new trailer for Spider-Man since that comes out the week after.
I am so excited for Spider-Man.
Me too, man.
Just I even though like I'll talk about that after. With all that stuff after the credits, I don't think a movie's done that before. Back to my collective memory, I mean Titanic came back to theaters several years back
Yeah,
as like a 10 or 15, 20 year anniversary kind of thing. It's just the same film. And been a film that's come out that goes stick around for the credits, an additional 3 scenes that we shot and a tribute, which I'm assuming is going to be either a tribute to the actors and actresses who aren't coming back, or a Stan Lee tribute, or just a tribute to the MCU in general.
yeah, man, probably.
Like that really feels like the special edition bonus features of like the Blu-ray.
Getting the Blu-ray before
Like
it comes out, man.
exactly. Now if they release it with commentary in the theater,
Oh, that'll be interesting.
awesome. Spider-Man. I'm
What do you think are the actual possible chances that this is some sort of elaborate ploy to get people into seats just to go see a sneak double feature for Avengers Endgame and then Spider-Man Far From Home?
Well, considering that would then take up like a 5 hour plus time period. T-
Time slot.
you sorry, me and terminologies. It would work once. It would literally work for the Friday, and that would be it.
Yeah,
Because
I
then
think so.
everyone would. That would be cool. That reminds me of Grindhouse. You ever see that in theaters?
No.
So Grindhouse was the collaboration between Robert Rodriguez, Planet Terror, and Death Proof. Go in and you would sit down and you'd watch Planet Terror. Grindhouse films. They are the exploitation films of like the 70s and 80s. Over the top violence in it, but he doesn't appear in any scene with any of the other characters. Bunch of fake trailers in between. After the film, after the credits, there was a whole bunch of easy trailers, like Nicolas Cage dressed up as like Fu Manchu. It was like the
Oh, yeah.
worst. Yeah, it was bad. Or like Hobo with a Shotgun, which is a fantastic film. You immediately after you saw these 3 or 4 trailers that were all fake, you watched Death Proof, double feature with one ticket, and that was cool as hell. The biggest problem with that was even after the credits of the first film, that it was a double feature.
Mm-hmm.
The thing back in the day, you would go and see a double feature for Grindhouse, for a Grindhouse style film.
Yeah.
Just I wish and hope that it would be like a tricked you're watching Spiderman instead kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching extended. I just don't see it.
It'd be interesting.
Amazing. If they pulled that off, I would precedented.
So the other day, I actually found, I actually refound with Chandler a movie that has the best title in existence ever. The title is The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot.
You know what kind of film that's going to be?
73% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it stars Sam Elliott. It just looks like gold. Just looks like B movie gold.
His Calvin Barr is called upon by the government to hunt down the fabled Bigfoot, the carrier of a deadly plague that could destroy humanity. Amazing.
Yeah, man.
I life. Dude, thank you. This Mason. You see the trailer for the new Rambo?
Yeah, man. That looks pretty good, actually. I know a lot of people are against it, but I mean, I'm down for another Rambo. Last Rambo.
It has to be the last.
It has to be.
Really liked the Rambo 4, I guess is what we're gonna call it now. The one that's just Rambo. Like that one because it was like, hey, you know that guy who rescued all those people from Afghanistan and Middle East? He's not doing too good. He's currently, but I don't know. I don't know. I've always liked Rambo, except 2 and 3 because any sense to me whatsoever. films.
It's called Rambo: Last Blood.
Yeah, it just. How old is Sylvester Stallone?
Sylvester Stallone is. Oh my god, he
72 years
72.
old. Jesus Christ.
73 this July. Dude's getting up there and still looking good.
I mean, even just outside public appearances, he doesn't look bad. He's aged well.
He's aged like fine cheese.
Yes. There's there's a group of people who have aged incredibly well. Back in the day till now,
mm-hmm.
like Matt LeBlanc, guy has he's definitely a way more refined Joey at this point.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. Let's see. Robert Downey Jr. is aged pretty well.
He's aged incredibly well.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, still fucking 428 years old.
Yep. Yeah. Paul Rudd, who is
Still 2.
28. Yeah, he's still 2. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh.
oh,
But yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Shit.
Yeah, man. She's still fucking hot.
She is. Yeah. What about her? Holy shit.
Like she's on my celebrity bang list. Let's see.
Yeah.
Actors who haven't aged well. I'd have to say Al Pacino.
Yeah, Al Pacino's taking a turn for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Who hasn't
Arnold
really?
Schwarzenegger, man.
I was just thinking that he really hasn't.
Like I saw a picture. I mean, with a vest with tux on, he looks pretty good. But
Yeah.
if he's just full Terminator, full or full. If he's undressed from like the waist up, it's not a pretty sight. Like you could tell he was big and bulky back in his days, but now
Oh,
once his shirt's off, it's like, ooh, dude.
just all those muscles for all those years, and
Yep.
it's like going from being very fat to being very skinny. That's literally what you're doing. So,
Yeah, man.
way at that age to maintain that much muscle mass. But
Let me see another person who hasn't aged well. Danny Trejo, maybe.
was he ever, not looking like someone took a machete to his face?
Well, okay. Well, let's just go with Danny DeVito then.
Danny DeVito has not aged. He's slowly turning into the Penguin at this point.
and Marvel fans are wanting to play Wolverine. He could bring the height. He could bring the comic accurate height.
I distinctly remember when X-Men, the very first
Uh,
movie, was announced,
oh yeah.
and I just want to get my date right. So X-Men came out in 2000, so
Mm-hmm.
19 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago, I would have been 8, and I remember magazines, and they were talking about the new X-Men film.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest things they brought up was how damn tall Hugh Jackman was as compared to the actual Wolverine. We're talking like Wolverine's supposed to be what, 5'5", 5'3",
Give or take.
the short guy, the angry short guy syndrome.
Yeah. And
This guy's gonna be a terrible Wolverine because he's too tall, he's too good looking, he's not angry enough. Flipping through that magazine and seeing him after slicing the dude's shotgun off, and just that stance with like, I'm gonna punch you in the face with my claws, and I'm gonna stab the guy in the gut behind me. You know what? This guy's gonna be cool. And then I saw the film. Fucking awesome film.
yeah, man. One of the best. Still holds
Uh,
up pretty well.
it the mind was the scene where the senator turns to water.
Ooh, yeah.
Scene holds up to this day in 720p.
Yeah, man.
I
That
don't know,
that was some scary shit back then.
man. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That CGI, mwah.
Yes.
First three.
The first one of the first Stanley cameos.
Yep.
He was the cart man. He was the hot dog vendor in the background.
One of the ones that you blink and you miss it because
Exactly.
you're not expecting Stan
The
Lee.
definition of a cameo.
Yeah. Speaking of cameos, have you seen Men in Black International yet?
I have not.
Really good.
Yeah.
If you loved Thor Ragnarok and the dynamic of Tessa Thompson, I had to look her up multiple times to remember that.
Yeah.
And Chris Hemsworth, this film,
Yeah.
and probably the 4 best and Easter eggs I've seen in a film. The pug from the first film.
Yeah.
Second cameo.
I was gonna say Pug and cameo. Pug in first film dead.
Oh yeah, I know. This one was like CGI, but it doesn't matter. And there was so many callbacks and just little things that was like the camera. It wasn't like in Rogue One. Those two guys.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was. Oof.
Bump into them and your brain's going, hey, wasn't that the two? And then the camera turns and goes, hey, it was the two guys you're thinking it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good cameo.
No.
Awful cameo. Man, Dark Phoenix was pretty lackluster.
Yeah, it was. It was awful. Pretty bad.
What? Josh, you saw it, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been hearing it was pretty awful.
The studio hates it so much they didn't even put the X-Men title in the movie. It's just Dark Phoenix. It's not X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Yeah. I see right here on the stream you got the Rotten Tomatoes up for Men in Black International.
Had it.
This is a trend that I'm seeing and same with Dark Phoenix. Look at that. Critics really hate the film.
Critics the past couple of years have just been shitting on films.
One of the things I've noticed with critics in general is that like a film, it's a 2 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if I don't like the film, it's got to be a 5 out of 10 because they still made a film. A 2 out of 10 means it barely functions thing that it's so awful it's unwatchable.
Yeah.
Entertainment value and no watchability at all. International 23%. There's the comic relief character in that film was 100% on point. Almost 100% of his jokes landed. I was in a theater of like 12 people because it was a matinee. All 12 of us were laughing.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. But not as good as the first two.
Definitely not.
Better than the third one. The third one was, again, fucking time travel in it.
Yeah, man. Though I do think that Josh Brolin definitely was a dead ringer uh, for Agent K.
I agree 100%. Josh Brolin was an excellent choice.
Tommy Lee Jones looked like right there, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I agree with that 100%. Legitimately couldn't think of anyone better to play a young Tommy Lee. Dark Phoenix, that's a shame that it that universe ended so poorly.
It shouldn't have even continued past Logan.
I think yeah, I agree with that. Logan was, it still hurts. Like, just thinking about that.
I've seen both. I've seen both the original, the theatrical version, and the black and white version. It's great both ways.
At the black and white's just excellent.
Yeah.
Your past. That was the one I was thinking about
As
as a good
yeah, that's a really good one.
as an end point for the actual X-Men, just having everybody together. The fact that Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart came back.
Yes, I know.
The fact that Kitty Pryde was back.
Eh.
I grew up with X-Men Evolution.
Yeah,
So
I loved X-Men Evolution.
So Kitty Pryde is 100% from Evolution. The ending where we see Jean Grey, Cyclops again, and it's John Marston, and I can't remember the chick who played the original Jean Grey.
I can't remember either.
It up.
Let me see. Oh, damn it. It was right there. Oh. Famke Janssen.
No clue who that is. She's Jean Grey. But it was one of those things was where I had people had a reaction to that of like, oh my God, that's Jean Grey.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things that X-Men Last Stand did really well at. Have two films to flesh out Jean Grey, because I might have been because of my age or just the time that there wasn't a lot of superhero films. You kind of latched on to these characters because the cast in the first three X-Men films spot on, in my opinion.
Yeah, they really were.
Killed Jean Grey in the second film. It was like, and then she comes back, but she's broken. So in Last Stand, I know everyone loves to hate on Last Stand.
I thought it was, now looking back on it, after having watched it recently, it's not as bad as people shit on it.
Yeah, like people shit on it hard.
But at least it has a story.
Exactly. And you can nitpick it to death, but you can nitpick anything to death. And when when Logan has to stab Jean Grey, one of
That
my
was pretty emotional, yeah.
yeah, but that's one of like the 10 moments in film, the superhero films
Mm-hmm.
will forever be burned into my mind. And that's what the entire film Logan felt like to me. Was just watching 30-second scene and making it a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
Man, I'm all depressed now.
Let's see. Dark Phoenix is the lowest rated of all the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
23%. The next highest is
On a Deadpool's 51.
Origins Wolverine.
I loved Origins.
Origins Wolverine was a garbage movie. The only redeeming thing about that movie was that we got a fucking great movie game tie-in.
Maybe I'm just thinking about the movie game tie-in because that was one of the best movie tie-in games.
That it definitely was. Just that game is the only one that I've ever seen. They let Logan just go full berserker mode.
Yes, and actually graphically show it and have him take damage.
Yeah.
And like it was visceral, it was violent, and it was good. CGI claws, man. CGI claws. Ugh.
That's bad. And I actually really liked the Wolverine from 2013.
The Wolverine. That was looking back with Logan and looking back in perspective. The Wolverine's a lot like Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Such a
Only a bit modern, yeah.
yeah, it's such a tone shift departure. The other X-Men film. Comic book series with him going to Japan always made me laugh for some stupid reason because it's like in my head Japan's always such a place of sophistication and culture.
Yeah.
Wolverine's not.
He's
Really not.
yeah.
Man, what a weird time that we have all these amazing series of films that are just ended.
Yeah, it's
Like
really weird. 20 years of film ends maybe next year with the New Mutants. And I say maybe because it was supposed to come out 2 years ago, never did, and they say they're doing reshoots, but we'll see if that ever happens.
it's a Netflix near you.
I wouldn't doubt it be on. Well, actually, I wouldn't doubt it be on Hulu, since Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah, but yeah, it's weird. I mean, I'm intrigued by where Spider-Man Far From Home is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
What they're gonna do because after Endgame, there's
it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens and what they do after Far From Home, because where do you go with it?
There was a book I read back in elementary.
Mm-hmm.
About halfway through the book, character who the story is all told first person perspective from the main character
Yeah.
and killed.
Huh.
The next chapter, each chapter after that is told from a perspective of one of his friends in the third person. It was a really weird shift. I can't remember the book. That's what right now with the Marvel Cinematic Universe feels like to me. That we've just all the main characters pillar of what it was meant to be. They're not coming back.
Yeah, they're not.
Now we're left with a void that to deal with. Like Parker has to deal with losing Tony.
I'm. Well, I know. Well, they've already announced that they're doing Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming out in a couple years. And they're already shooting Black Witch. Or not Black Witch, Black Widow.
Yeah, but that's a prequel though.
Yeah, that is a prequel, which is something I don't think they actually should do.
I mean, no, I like her character because you know that and Hawkeye have done some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's been some like assassinations they've done and or like some real bad double cross and nonsense. These
Yeah.
characters are probably the most dangerous people in the room and everybody just has a good laugh at them like, oh, he has a bow and she has a pistol. I'm intrigued. I'm also a real sucker for the femme fatal. Is that
Femme
fatale?
Fatale.
Oh, worst part is technically I'm half French Canadian. Yeah, so I'm just a sucker for strong females in films.
um,
Fast females, 100%.
Inspector Reacts mentioned the Avengers versus X-Men comic story, which I think is definitely a comic story they could do down the road. Maybe not in Phase 4, maybe Phase 5. But I still think that the next comic villain or the next Avengers villain that they're gonna be setting up is maybe maybe a Nihilus, maybe Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, there's kind of it you can go. Sorry, it's not like you can go after dealing with Thanos for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, at least not anything super ultra like 10 years worth, but that I can
I
think of at least.
I think it's over. The the mega blockbuster that is the Avengers franchise. It's peaked at this point, and we're never gonna have an end game again.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not.
I mean, it all depends on how the fandom reacts and how the general population reacts to new characters taking a more main role in the films. Falcon becoming the new Captain America, not having Robert Downey Jr., not having Chris Evans,
Mm-hmm.
and Scarlett Johansson. These people were such a huge part of why the franchise went on so long. Now that they're not here,
What do you do?
what do you do? And it just kind of, it's empty. And they're not going to stop. There's no way they're going to stop.
Oh, no, yeah, no, they're not going to stop anytime soon.
But it's just, Spectre nailed it. Endgame was such a good ending that it's hard to think of after.
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with Infinity War, for crying out loud. I went back and rewatched it last week.
Yeah.
And it still hurt. That ending still hurt me. It's been a hell of a run.
It has been over 11 years.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember going to see Iron Man in theaters?
I actually never saw Iron Man in theaters.
Really?
The first movie, or the first Marvel movie that I saw in theaters was Avengers.
Wow.
No. It was Captain America Civil War. Or it was Captain America, the first Avengers.
First
Yeah.
Avenger. So I had an amazing moment with the phase 1 of the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in theaters. And I remember staying for the end credits as a moviegoer at the time. You know, you just stayed because there might be something.
Yeah.
Guarantee there's going to be something. I remember going like, "Oh, that's Nick Fury. That's pretty badass." The Avengers. Okay, whatever. Oh, that's just sequel bait. It's never going to happen.
Oh yeah. Avengers is never gonna happen.
Yeah. Then then Thor comes out and you go,
Huh.
this
Well,
Shield's
okay.
in this. Nick. Okay, but nah, this will never work. And then first Avenger, and you're going like,
Are they actually doing this? Is this actually going to happen?
it's just such a beautiful thing seeing Avengers in theaters because I never thought it was going to happen. Honestly, I just and you had the same reaction, which I love.
I post credit of the first Avengers, or not even post credit. It was well, yeah, it actually was post credit. When Cap wakes up and runs off. His last line was, "I had a date," goes to black, and I think right after it was the first teaser for the Avengers.
Yeah.
That blew my mind, blew everyone's mind in theaters.
Inspector. Then Avengers happens, and then we thought, well, it's never going to get better than that.
Right. Here we
What?
are. 7 years later. I,
7 years?
had to count on my fingers.
Yeah, 7 years later, and of Avengers film. I mean, um, and Civil War are still amazing films in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pretty much pick any Marvel film, stand by themselves. And I think that's kudos to the writers and everybody that made these standalone stories while keeping the big picture in mind.
Yeah.
You can only make it an event so many times. You got to tell the small stories. I always loved Spider-Man. Spider-Man showing up in freaking Civil War.
When the big text came up, just that said Queens, I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is it. I know who this is.
It was so amazing. Again.
Hmm?
Thought I lost you there,
Oh
man. You
no,
kind of
I'm still here. I think. Are we still going? Yeah, still
Yeah, we're
going.
still going. We're still going.
Yeah, still
It
going.
didn't drop this time. Oh, oh,
That would have been bad.
oh, bad. Just nope, not happening.
Nope, not happening. I actually started a book series per Chandler's request called Super Powereds.
Super powereds
Yeah,
with an F.
yeah. Super powereds, as in POWERD or EREDS.
Hayes.
Yeah, Drew Hayes.
All right. Ooh.
I just finished year one on Audible. It's a really good book. It's a really good series. It centers around five people, five young adults who don't have control of their abilities, so they're classified as powereds, which is a sub sub subculture not of supers. They're basically the people who have powers but can't control
Sounds really interesting. That's an interesting take.
them. So they're put into college to help them become help become heroes, and it's really interesting, really good.
I'm gonna put that on my wish list. I just finished reading the graphic novel, The Boys.
Oh yeah, that's coming out on
On
Amazon
Amazon.
soon.
Yeah, more graphic than the graphic novel.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Yeah, so the graphic novel is pretty fucked up. Have you read it?
No.
So the idea is that exist, but all superheroes get their powers the super soldier formula that
Mm-hmm.
was made in World War II.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
So you either you get injected by the drug, you get exposed to this drug, you take it, life.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you have the superpowers, pregnant, and then the superpowered baby kills them.
Okay.
So because a normal person's body cannot handle a superhero's, it's really messed up. But what it is that superheroes, because you can only save the world so many times, you start taking things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Money, property, doesn't matter. And there's a ridiculously great line in it. Police have a 20% casualty rate. And that means that if of the hostages die, it's an acceptable risk because you're trained.
Yeah.
Heroes, because you have to have laws pertaining to superheroes, except the superheroes could literally rule the planet.
They could. Yeah.
Acceptability for human loss at 60%.
I just read the basic synopsis. A group of
Yeah,
vigilantes set out to take down corrupt superheroes who abuse their superpowers.
which is
Yes.
majority of them. So the main character in that, the story opens with him dating this chick,
Uh-huh.
and they're having a good time, and all of a sudden the dude's just holding on to her arms, and there's nothing left.
Huh.
The Speed superheroes was doing Mach 3, hip checked the villain he was chasing, and at Mach 3 that dude hit the guy's girlfriend.
Oh, damn.
It's violent right off the bat. Recommend reading the comic, but it looks great. It looks like it's gonna be a ton of fun, but it's definitely got some of edible moments in it.
Yeah, just looking at some of the pictures online, it looks very graphic. So I'm really
It
interested to see how they take that into TV form.
and it's got Carl Urban in it, and
Yeah.
like him as Dread.
I loved him as Red.
Love him. I love him in general. The boys, man. That's anti superhero, really anti superhero. It's awesome.
Have you heard of or seen Good Omens?
I've seen some of it,
I love
maybe
it.
2 or 3
I love it. It's great.
into it.
Really?
Inspector, take her easy.
Night. It's a
Um,
great show. It's hilarious.
I didn't find it entertaining, and I didn't find it funny. Um, I'm a huge British comedy fan. I Monty Python. I got a classic British humor. I couldn't get into Good Omens. Watched some of the guys' work before. I couldn't. Even with David Tennant, I couldn't get into it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. I don't know.
Maybe
I think
I've only
it's.
watched one episode, so
Oh, you've only watched one episode, bastard. That's why you can't get into it.
I treat any TV show like I treat anime. I cannot keep my interest past throughout the first episode.
That doesn't happen in anime.
Does I've never been proven wrong on this.
First episode can be shit in anime, and the rest can be great.
It never happens.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode is always salvageable or decent, and the rest of the show will be decent or good. If the first episode's crap in anime, series will be crap. And Good Omens just didn't hook me.
Uh-huh.
I was just not into it.
All right.
Though the flaming sword was pretty fucking funny, if I do say. Didn't you have a flaming sword? Well, yes. Lost it already. Okay, yeah, maybe it was pretty good, but
Mm-hmm.
my cup of tea right now. I do love David Tennant though.
He's great. He's great.
fucking fantastic.
Well, I think we can end it here. It's been long enough, but yeah, it's I highly recommend watching the entire series, dude. It's only 6 episodes, so get on it.
I think I'll sit down with my wife and watch it.
Yeah.
As long I wish Amazon would Chromecast support.
Yeah, yeah.
God, let me cast Amazon to my TV.
Oh, all right.
Well,
Yeah, it's been fun having you, dude.
I love being on here, man. This is how nice it is to be able to talk about just sense and actually, with like-minded people like yourself. And it's just,
Yeah.
I don't have this out here. Literally, you and Chandler, man, like you guys are like the only people I can talk to about stuff like this. Everybody else I hang out with,
Because you live in the boonies with Letterkenny, dude.
Even gonna argue that.
Going on fart book.
Well,
Well,
only lasted one day.
I know. Well, we'll definitely be doing this again next week. The week after, the 3rd of July, maybe, maybe not, just because we're gonna be down in Austin at that time. So, but yeah, we'll definitely be doing it again next week. So we'll probably have you on again if you're available.
I've set aside Wednesday nights for this. So
Cool beans, dude. All right. Well, thank you everyone who stuck around to the very end of the show. You all have been lovely, especially with all these technical difficulties tonight. Good lord, it even rained during the show, which is weird. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy that. If you guys are on YouTube, hit that thumbs up and subscribe, hit the bells, whatnot, because YouTube hates us. And if you guys are listening on any of the podcast apps, let us know what you guys think. Give us a rating, whatnot. We'll see you guys next week. Laters.
bye.